Hello, and welcome to the Consumer's Review of Symphony of War, the Nephilim Saga. This is a strategy role-playing game very similar to something like Fire Emblem, Ogre Battle Tactics, or Ogre Battle 64, Shining Force, Final Fantasy Tactics. It is extremely good. It has a few problems, one of them being difficulty. I have it on the highest difficulty, and it's not quite hard enough. The permanent death system's a little weird. It doesn't kill any of your story-based permanent units, but it does kill your sub-units. So each one of your classes has its own little party. So if we take a look at this, we can edit the squad, and you have multiple units, and each unit does things. The units are pretty closely aligned. The classes are pretty closely aligned to Fire Emblem, which is a good thing. Let's go ahead and begin the mission. Some of the more important units are like your archers, and there's a mechanic in here called counterattack. Let's have the archer hit the other archer. So this archer will counterattack me because it's also an archer, but non-archers won't counterattack. This is pulled straight out of Ogre Battle or Ogre Battle Tactics. It's a pretty good system, but it kind of overpowers archers in the end game. At the beginning of the game, archers are very weak and they don't do a lot of damage, but as the game progresses, they do more damage. So you can watch in this battle, you hit them and they hit you back. Obviously, too easy. Some of the main characters, like this is a Nephilim, so she gets extremely overpowered. It's pretty similar to how in Final Fantasy Tactics, towards the end of the game, you have all unique classes that are extremely overpowered, and the game just gets easier and easier and easier as you get more powerful, more powerful, more powerful. So I kind of wish the difficulty would ramp up the other way. A lot of strategy role-playing games have this problem where it starts out really difficult, and then it just gets easier and easier and easier. I'd kind of prefer it the other way, where it started out a little more easy and then got difficult as time goes on. But it is probably pretty difficult to balance these kind of games. So some of the unique mechanics of this game, you have these powers that are granted to you when you upgrade your Nephilim characters. Blessing will give you an additional turn. Terror reduces the morale of the units. This gives you 50% damage reduction. Teleport, Meteor. Out of all these, I think Teleport's probably my favorite, because when you're trying to complete the missions in a certain amount of turns, Teleport is just super handy. So if I want to take my badass unit and just teleport it right in the middle here, I can do that. And those recharge as you get kills. So that's a new and interesting mechanic that this game implements. Let's go ahead and retreat and go to the base of operations. Another unique mechanic in here is this tech tree. I'd recommend rushing this one. All squads in the army gain 10 capacity limit. So as you saw, you each get specific units, and I have my maid Beatrix with the titties. Let's take a look at unit status. She has very low leadership. So before I got that, she's at 51, and you can see her capacity down here is 61. So I was able to get an additional unit. Right now it's just a healer with her. So it's less useful for people with high leadership, like the main character, but it's more useful for some of those. And that is probably the most interesting stat to talk about. Everything else is just kind of your basic stuff. Now let's talk about some of the artifacts. The artifacts are pretty cool because some of them give build-defining features, like this one. This is the only build-defining feature I'm using right now. Gain strength for every point of magic. Magic is set to 0. So all these units are healers that are hybrid healer attackers. So they have high magic. They also have pretty good strength. And if we take a look at the unit status of this big bitch, she's got 215 strength. And some of the other ones, 127. And that's supposed to be like a healer, 136. So all these people are hitting like trucks. And the penalty for having 0 magic is not felt. Now if we take a look at just a different unit and a different one. So 56. So 56 is kind of like the standard strength, and they're all basically double that because their magic is high. So if we take a look, he's only got 13 magic. Or 15 magic, so he wouldn't be that good of a character to do that on, but she's got 113, and this is a Valkyrie, so 83 magic, 72 strength. It would add that 83 into the 72, which is kind of cool. And let's do some of his artifacts. So this is my leader. He's got this artifact, 33% chance for a second turn. That is amazing. You'll go through and you'll just magically get a second turn sometimes. It's super fantastic. And then you can combine that with the Nephilim power that gives you a second turn. So you have a 33% chance twice. So sometimes you can get 4 turns out of a unit that's using this Jade figurine. So this artifact system's pretty cool. I do wish you also had gear, helmet, swords, armor, but you don't. You only have these 3 artifact slots, which is like your 3 equipment slots. More gear, the better, in my opinion. Another tiny complaint I have with the game is identifying unique characters. I'm pretty sure it organizes it in order. So your unique characters are all on top, and your non-unique characters are down below. So what I mean by unique is they're story-based characters, and you can't really change their classes in a lot of them, and they're better for leaders. So this one is just a basic unit. I can change its class, and the only reason I'm going to have him as a leader is because he has high leadership stats. You can go and into your marketplace and recruit units, and these units all have different stats. So if you find units with high leadership, you can recruit one, create a brand new battle unit with them as the leader, and then there's other people that are unique to the story. So this character, for instance, is unique to the story right here, but he looks exactly like everything else. So it's hard to tell that it's a unique character, but on some of them you try to change their class and it won't let you. So that's an indication that it's a unique character. You could also pay attention to the story and remember the unique characters, but I can never remember people's names. So another way you can do it is to go into supports. This is that system that's just like Fire Emblem. I wish they would change it or remove it or do something different. But here are all your unique characters that you can have communications with. And they will not die when you have the permanent system on. But they're just a little hard to identify from this menu. That would be a cool change to make all of them unique looking, like the wolf or your main character. Minor complaint. All the complaints I have in this game are all extremely minor. This is a fantastic game. It has been very fun to play. I highly recommend this to anyone. It's a full consume. This game is fantastic. Go consume it.